So I'm gonna do this very quick mom tag questionnaire, and I'm gonna try and go through it as quickly as I can for you guys. How old were you when you had your first child? I was 17. I got pregnant at 16. What was the hardest thing about being pregnant for 9 months? You know, I was fine up until my 8th month, and that's when my feet got really swollen and they hurt really bad, and my back started hurting a lot, and I got really heavy. My daughter came out very big, so God bless her. Can you think of any good things you enjoyed during 9 months? I loved her kicking in my belly. It didn't matter if it hurt or she shoved me in the rib. I absolutely loved feeling that. That was like the best part about being pregnant. In your opinion, were all the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? I don't really know. I didn't do much research. I didn't do a birthing class or anything. You know, a lot of women have epidurals and they kept it on, so they didn't feel anything. I had an epidural, but when it started or got time to push, I wasn't pushing properly, so they turned off my epidural and gave me Pitocin on top of that. And if you know anything about Pitocin, it actually helps you contract, so it made it worse. I felt everything. My daughter laid on my back my whole pregnancy, so every push, it was all in my back. I was sweating. It was horrible. So in my sense, it was a little crazy. Would you have handled childbirth differently if you could redo it? No, it would have gone the same way. No, I couldn't. What would your advice be for someone who is about to have a baby? My only advice is a very common piece of advice that not very many people told me, but I did on my own, was get my daughter on a schedule. That's what made it easy, is her being, here she comes, her being on a schedule. So that made it a lot easier. Let's see. What has been the hardest thing about being a mother? I think the hardest thing is still to this day keeping your patience, because once my daughter started talking and running and talking back to me, that's kind of what got to me really hard. Because when she's like 1 to 2, she's talking, but she's not talking back to you. She gets mad, but she doesn't say anything that can hurt, and my daughter is at the age that she can say things that kind of hit you right where it burns, and it's fine. I mean, I think that's the hardest thing about being a mom for me. What has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? I think when I look at her and she's in a great mood and she's happy, I look at her and I realize she's mine. And I think that's the most rewarding thing, is that she's my kid. I made her. Hi! Or not. What was the most surprising thing that you discovered about being a mom? I discovered how patient I was. I'm a very patient person to a certain extent, however, but I'm pretty patient compared to some other people. What is the best memory you have involving your child? I think when I got married in December of 2016, she was just about to turn 4 before me and her dad got married, and her being such a perfect little girl that day, smiling, no crying, was such a perfect little girl, and I loved it. I think that was the most precious memory that I have of her. What was the most exciting milestone? When she got up. The first time I watched her walk up, stood up. She stood up in the middle of the room. Nothing was around her. She balanced on her 2 feet and she stood straight up tall. And I have it on video. My brother recorded it. It was amazing. There's Nico. Let's see. What was the worst thing your child has ever done? You know, she's not perfect. I'm not perfect. I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that question. She's not an angel all the time, but we try. It's not bad. What habit do you wish your child didn't have? She has a habit of when she doesn't get her way or she doesn't get to wear a dress, she gets very upset. And I guess it's my fault because I say, let's get you dressed instead of let's get your clothes on. So that's her thinking, oh, I get to wear a dress even though it's pouring rain and 50 degrees in California. So I don't know. What habit of theirs makes you most proud? Habit of theirs that makes me proud. She has a habit of being very honest, and I think it makes me proud because she's not a very good liar, and I'm just fine with that because I know when she's lying because she smiles or she's like, nothing, mommy, and it's just super cute. Yeah. Do you share any similarities to your child, birth, physical, and personality? Physical, everyone says she has my nose. I don't see it. It's a cute little nose she has though. I don't think mine's all that small, but that's what I think. So, yeah, we're matching. And then also personality. She has an attitude, just as I do. And that's just fine, so that's okay. Let me see. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? In 10 years, my child will be turning 15, so I'm assuming she'll have a quinceanera. They can't see you. And that is absolutely scary to me because when she turns 15, I'll only be 32 years old. 32. Like, I'm gonna be 32 with a 15-year-old. Like, whoa. What is something that having a child has taught you? Having her has taught me that there's someone else in the world that needs you. Someone that needs you. Someone that relies on you to mentor them and love them and care for them unconditionally no matter how upset they are with you. Keeping them safe. My paranoia has definitely gone up. I'm a paranoid person as it is. Growing up, I watched a lot of the investigation and discovery TV shows, and that made me extra paranoid about who's around me, personalities that I need to watch out for, and things that people do that paranoia is just my only concern about that is my paranoia. Did you imagine that you'd be a mom at the age that you became a mom? Never. Never in my life. I knew I wanted kids before 25, but I had no idea that the world was gonna give me a kid at 16. I would never have imagined. I would never change it. Never. But I would never have guessed that, you know, I would become a mom so young. But it taught me a lot. It taught me that I need to care for myself as much as I need to care for my daughter. Describe your child in a single sentence. Sassy. Sassy, diva, loving, bratty. There's not one word to describe her, there's plenty. And last question, but not least, how have you changed as a person since becoming a mom? I always had that mommy gene in me. Before I even became pregnant, I was babysitting my nephew during the week while my sister was at work. And, you know, I always wanted kids. I'm a kid person. I was meant to be a mother. Like, it's not just something that women say after they do. Like, I knew from a very young age that I was meant to be a mother, and I already had that in me. I mother my friends, for God's sake. Like, I remind them, oh, did you get that? Oh, don't forget this, or grab a jacket, or this or that, or I'm like, oh, I have this, do you need it? Like, I'm a mother. I'm a person that mothers things. Beautiful day, and I hope you enjoyed the questions. Bye, guys. Mwah.